Louder was exceptional. He had probably multiple fastballs in play. It sounded like very good command of the slider, changeup, everything in any count. And he was going from the windup to the stretch in the middle of at bats, and he was just in command of the ball game. And it wasn't that the strikeouts mounted to a ridiculous number. It was just so many pitches in play to both sides of the plate and down, and changed his tempo and rhythm, and that's why he's pitching the way he is right now in terms of numbers. They're a physical team, balanced. They added some really good transfer pieces to what was already a very solid club. You can see it. We didn't get to their bullpen, but they do have some bullpen arms other than I think that was a grad transfer that came in for the last inning. J-Bomb, unfortunately, really didn't have a secondary pitch in play at all. He never could find his curveball, not from, you could see it in the warm-up, the 8 pitches in warm-ups. He didn't quite have the feel for that and couldn't get it down. We've seen it when it's good, and we've also seen it when it is like that. I thought he did throw some good fastballs, but against this crowd, a fastball alone is not enough. And we were hoping he could settle the game, because when you're looking at 2 more games, you would hope that he could get you through some more outs and some more innings to save the options that we have in the bullpen that we've leaned on. I thought the guys battled at the plate, but their ability to play really solid defense in all phases, infield, outfield, behind the plate, that's why they're where they are right now in terms of the quality of that team. So it was a difficult night, but it started with the guy on the mound, and he did a really nice job for him.
Have you ever seen another starter in college like Louder? Just the consistency that he works with and the ability to mix like he does?
Yeah, I mean, you go way back to, yes, I have. Some of the Cal State Fullerton guys from back in the mid-2000s, and then, there's some dynamic arms. You go to Drew Pomerantz and Smiley and Renato and some of those guys in the SEC that you had to deal with on back Friday nights. You do see it. North Carolina had some guys that were really dynamic when they were in the run with Ackley and Seeger and White and Warren, and Matt Harvey was the guy in the Super Regional that we didn't get to see as a starter of their 3. So you do see it, but I don't know that you'll see better command of above average secondary pitches than that. And the way to try to stay in it is you hope that your starting pitcher can equal that and you can defend. We had a chance to make 2 really good above average plays, and we couldn't quite make them to maybe hold this thing in check there early in the game. But his stuff was very good.
Going up against his former team, Brennan, there's probably I imagine a situation like that, you put a little extra pressure on yourself maybe. How do you think, it seemed like he managed it pretty well?
I thought he pitched great. I honestly thought there was a spurt where his stuff was better than it had been all year, to be honest. So that says a lot about him, because it's difficult to walk out there and have to deal with that circumstance, and I thought he handled it just fine. And the stuff was good, and again, we felt like for the remainder of the weekend, the way we tried to use him to kind of hold the game in check, but clearly we were running out of outs, and the way Louder was thrown, we thought, okay, we're trying to save him for maybe Sunday. Yeah, it was nice to see him throw well again. And I know Dennison's numbers and the result is not maybe what clearly we needed, but the stuff was the best I'd seen it. It was the best I'd seen Dennison throw. Like, he was, the tempo, the rhythm, the delivery, the arm speed, everything was a little bit better than I've seen it before. So that was a positive for him too.
I guess seeing this team for the first time, for the weekend as well, and walking away with it with 2 more games coming up. What do you guys feel like you need to do in order to come away with a series win?
Well, Whitaker needs to go do, like with Louder, similar thing. Whitaker's got the good changeup and the slider and move the fastball around, which that gives you the opportunity. But clearly J-Bomb, we've seen him do it. He didn't quite have it today, but that helps. And the lefty they're going to run out there it's really good. So we have to match up with hopefully Whit being good, and we have to defend in every spot on that diamond to help him, because Whit pitches to contact, and you're going to have balls that are in play. And then offensively, we see a lefty, so you get Vincent to switch around, and You know, if Nander's back in there a little bit, then you have another right-handed bat. So we'll figure it out, but we have to match and give ourselves a chance on the mound to kind of stay in the game early, and then hopefully there's chinks in the armor somehow offensively that you can figure it out and scratch and claw and maybe produce some sort of a big inning along the way.
When J-Bomb hasn't been on, it seems like it's been the curveball that he's kind of had inconsistency with, I guess. Do you feel like that's just a field thing kind of, or a mechanical thing when it goes?
I think the curveball, the way he throws it, is a feel thing. You know, clearly, you know, his fastball command was okay for the most part. So I don't know that it was a mechanical bit. Now we'll get into it deeper with him, like to kind of get through how he felt, but I think it's just strictly the feel for it and kind of finding that right release point, and it just didn't look like he ever could get it maybe out in front, which is a feel thing as much as anything. When you do see that he threw some really good fastballs and a couple good changeups. So the slider, Chuck, you could tell Chuck kind of went and pivoted a little bit more to the slider because we had to have some breaking pitch to neutralize. You know, they have a lot of righties, and we just never could like grasp the ability to put them away or finish with the secondary pitch.